I'd like to do a quick reading on Pierre Poilievre. He is the leader of the Conservative Party. And I've been a big fan of the Conservative Party for probably a couple of decades now because when I was fighting against pedophilia, many of you know, I wrote and amended 14 laws in Canada to protect children from harm. And the Conservative Party back then and the Reform Party, I say that because Preston Manning used to say it that way, and I loved Preston and Sandra Manning. They were actually good friends. And I think that they had it right. They were good people trying to do good things in politics, and of course they just got destroyed by, the deep state, the DSers. So anyways, when I think about the Conservative Party, I actually have had fond memories because when I was doing my battles, man, they were there for me. It would be, I had a law that was being named after me. It was called Carrie's Guardian Angel Law. And it was asking for really strict penalties on the most severest of PEDs. You know, the people that were the worst of the worst, most heinous crimes that, would be best served, humanity would be best served if they were never released, like the Charles Mansons of this world, right? Only against children. So Carrie's Guardian Angel Law was asking for a minimum sentence of 20 years in Canada, which is normal in the States, but 20 years for serial PEDs. And it got all the way to the third reading, which is a long ways for a bill, a private member's bill at that. It wasn't a bill from the government because there was the Liberals at the time. They didn't want it. They wanted to reduce age of consent to 12 with parental, authorization. So basically, they were allowing parents to prostitute their children out at the age of 12 or beyond. It was really sick. And I met with the Prime Minister back then, Paul Martin. I met with Martin Couchon, who was the Justice Minister, and Wayne Easter, who was the Solicitor General. I met with them all. And they were, in my opinion, as corrupt as the day is long, because all of them were in cahoots with one another. They all said, yes, Carrie, we're reducing the age of consent to 12 years old. It was sick. So I did everything. I was on Canada AM. I went coast to coast. David Rutherford's show, I was on his show, which was a coast-to-coast radio show, every single week. I don't know if you remember that, but I worked very hard as a volunteer. I never got paid for any of this because I didn't want it to be in anyone's back pocket. You know that story, right? I've talked about it a lot. Okay, so anyways, along comes Pierre Poilievre. I always call him Paul Poilievre. It turns out that he was adopted. I truly believe that his name was probably Paul, maybe it was a middle name, before he was adopted out. Because every time I see him, I go, oh, Paul Poilievre. No, it's actually Pierre Poilievre. So there is talk that he was part of the WEF when he was younger. And I thought, no, he actually seems to have integrity. I like what he says. But when you look around him, his wife, her family, they have the same MO that has been an issue for a long time. So let's pull some cards. In time, I think the truth will come out. I think that it is time for a change, absolutely. Let's ask specifically about Pierre Poilievre, the people that we know as Pierre. Okay, so what would you like to tell us? Yeah, I don't know what to think about this card. It's a mom speaking to children. So maybe they're telling us his childhood without his mother, or he was influenced by a mother, perhaps. He had a lot of broken glass around him. A lot of things are broken around him, but he's learned not to cry over spilt milk. He's a good father, supportive daddy. How is he as a politician? Well, this sex card comes up, and it's actually holding off. It's celibacy. So I would say that he doesn't engage in sexual, affairs, because he understands that that's the biggest problem with most politicians. That's what takes them down. And he does have a spiritual base. But is he part of the WEF? Yeah, I think he's standing alone now. I think perhaps at one time, but it feels much more positive. I wasn't expecting this read because I actually thought he's going to crack the whip and make some changes. Yeah, whoops. Okay, that card was a water filling the glass half full. So he's actually giving back to society, and he feels that he has a new mandate. His doors are open. He's walking a new staircase and walking into the light. And he will make changes. He's going to write new policies. He's going to write new laws with the government, and he's going to make significant changes, I believe. So is he good? Yeah, celebrate. Wow. I wasn't expecting this read at all, because I thought there is something up there. Is there something up there? No, I think there might have been, but I think it's dead now. I think any associations, any agreements that he once had, they're gone. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, he's marching on. He's creating a new military, new strength in Canada. Yeah, and in the end, lots of love, lots of support, lots of guidance. It's all good. Okay, I'm in between clients right now. I really have to get back to my other client. In 9 minutes, I'm going live with my new client. My one earlier today was from France. This one, I believe, is from the United States. Not too sure. And I have a new website up. So my channel is back. I'm so excited. But if you can go over to carriekohan.com, take a look at some of the courses. Most of them are live here in the UK, but some of them, like the VIP, I'm bringing only 12 people together, and I'm teaching you everything spiritual. So if you think that you have any insights, psychic ability, anything like that, and you want to learn more, you want to learn how to expand, how to have out-of-body experiences, how to remote view, all that, tree talk. But even more so, I like the tree root system. I've traveled the tree root system a lot, and so I teach all about that. Some pretty neat stuff.